Hey, I'm Erin from the Growth Genies and I'm the creative director there. Today I just wanted to jump on very quickly and talk to you about the topic of dealing with shipping delays, or to be more specific, talking to your customers about the potential shipping delays or long shipping times, because I think it's a particularly key issue with online pet businesses. With the psychology in this modern day of instant gratification, where people kind of want things and they want them now, and they aren't as willing to potentially wait for longer shipping times, or they might become disgruntled or complain about any delays. So 3 things that you can do just to either preempt or manage those kind of complaints and just make sure that it doesn't actually damage your brand in any capacity are relatively straightforward things you can do, and I suppose all 3 things really come down to that customer service. So the first point I would recommend is just being transparent with it. If you do anticipate that there are going to be shipping delays, which are largely out of your control at the end of the day, what I would suggest doing is putting this messaging even on your website somewhere, whether it's a banner at the top or it's on your shipping page or it's on checkout. Just make sure that this messaging is visible somewhere, so that it's not kind of tucked away and it's not trying to be sneaky and trying to be like, oh well, we said it somewhere, so kind of like it's a get out of jail free card. You actually have it quite clearly stated somewhere. It doesn't need to be like the lead of your website, doesn't need to be like a big flashy banner at the top, but just have it somewhere that's quite visible, quite accessible, and just say something kind of along the lines of, there might be shipping delays, but these are outside of our control due to XYZ, whatever shipping company you use, and we just ask for your patience and we'll keep you updated, kind of thing. And yeah, just be honest about kind of what your situation is in terms of shipping. Maybe you aren't able to post things with the most expensive delivery service in the country, but what you can do is just make sure that it is a quality shipping service that you do use, so that you know that your product will arrive there safely. So that's one way that you can try to manage that. And like I say, you can have it in multiple places on your website. You can have it in kind of your terms and conditions kind of pages. You can have it on checkout. If you kind of have any queries, if you then have it on like a shipping page, you can always refer the customer to that page. So that's always an option. The second one is really tied into that, and that's communication. For example, if you do kind of send something out and you think it's just going to take the standard time to arrive, but there is a major delay for whatever reason, really the thing that customers will become more disgruntled about is if they're left in the dark about these situations. So what I'd recommend doing is just keep them up to date with the situation. Tell them that their product's on their way, that you can provide them with a tracking code even, so that they have that real kind of visibility of what stage they've got to. And if they've noticed that there's it's lingered at a particular location for a while, maybe they flag that to you and be like, this isn't part of our under our control, but it's something that we'll look into. Be very kind of open to that kind of communication. Don't just kind of shut them down and be like, oh well, it's the shipping company, it's kind of outside of my control. You then have to take that additional action of, I'll follow up for you, we can kind of investigate this for you, because that will just be then that kind of reassurance that you care, that this product is going to get to them and that they're happy with the customer service. It does show that you have that personal investment in that outcome for them. And I think, again, kind of most people, if you've already framed up, like I said before, on the website that the standard shipping times might take XYZ long, and then there is a little bit of a delay, you can be really kind of we're aware of the situation, we're on top of it, thank you for communicating that to us, we really appreciate it. And just having kind of that conversation and dialogue, rather than them flagging an issue to you and getting nothing back, or getting no kind of real sense that you care or there's any kind of solutions being put in place to update them on the situation. Doesn't mean that you need to speed up the shipping process necessarily, but just keep them informed, just keep them up to date on that process will really go a long way. So that's another thing that you can do just to manage that. And then the third thing, and it might work for some businesses and it might not work so well, so it's really something that you can kind of factor in how much you want to invest in this element. But you can also offer either free gifts or discounts, to really kind of sweeten that deal. So if there is a long shipping delay, for example, you the next order that they get place with you can be kind of a 10% discount or even 5%, but 10% is typically better number to use. 15% you can go to if you feel like you're able to offer that. 5%, in my opinion, is a little bit too low to feel substantial enough to be a gesture, but 10% off their next order can be like, okay, they really do kind of care that I am an invested customer for them, so you know, they've kind of offered me this discount, and it is again that enticement to then submit another order in the future. But if you can't offer monetary discounts for your products, maybe you're just not in the position to do so, that's absolutely fine. But in that instance, what I would recommend is creating something of free value that you can either kind of like a material object that you can send to them in the post at little cost, or make it something that's like a digital resource. So for example, if one of the clients we work with, Potty Buddy, if they have like severe delays with their reusable potty pads, not that they do, but say for example that they did, one thing that Potty Buddy could create is just like a guide to potty training your puppy, and you know, kind of package it up in like a really nice way and be like, obviously there's kind of a delay in getting this product to you, but in the meantime, why don't you have a look at this resource that we've created specifically for you, so that you can be prepared when it does arrive to help train your puppy to know where to go toilet ultimately. So there's like little gestures you can do, and that could easily be sent in an email, obviously, so that's little cost to you personally, whereas you know, the other option of sending something physically in the post, like a little free gift, just to say kind of sorry for the delay, you know, kind of like, and you know, repair any kind of damage that the shipping delays has caused. You can create something that is digital but exclusive to those particular situations, because it won't mean much if this resource is just visible on your blog everywhere and kind of like they can access it that way. It has to be like an exclusive resource that has been created specifically for this situation, just so it feels like a little bit more special. So those are just 3 very simple ways that you can kind of handle any kind of shipping delay issues. So I hope those help. But I think the one thing that you should probably take away from this is that as long as you kind of frame it up effectively and you kind of preempt any of those concerns or objections, that should negate a lot of the negativity around like shipping delays and things like that in the future. But then if it does come and you do get complaints, it's then just a case of handling those complaints, listening to them and responding in a very personal capacity, showing that you care, and just putting that personal investment into their customer experience. So I hope this advice has helped. If there are any elements that you kind of feel like you'd like to comment on, or you have further questions, obviously please feel free to comment and we'll get back to you. Do follow us on all the social media platforms like Facebook, Instagram, we're on LinkedIn. Otherwise, sign up to our newsletter list where we'll send out resources, tips, advice, insights, industry updates, things like that, so you can keep up to speed. Otherwise, have a fantastic day and we look forward to chatting with you soon.